Reaching the position of a martial arts master is challenging, and everyone in that role is dedicated, experienced, and understands their technique so well that they can teach multiple students. So, if someone pretends to be a master, they might fool a few people, but when the truth comes out, things can take a disastrous turn. These moments of revelation of such lies are what you'll see today. So make sure to hit that like button before we start because this video is going to be breathtaking. Subscribe to the channel and let's get started. In the first video, a man in a white outfit acts like a master, moving calmly and carefully. He looks like he stepped straight out of a martial arts movie. However, don't be fooled. As soon as the real attacks begin, it becomes clear that the man in the black shirt is the one who truly knows how to fight. This was a painful realization for this fake master. At first, this fighter in a white tank top acts patiently, even laughing and giving several opportunities for the supposed experienced professional to show his technique. Realizing that his opponent is not who he claims to be, the true fighter demonstrates how an attack is done in the ring. The fake master learns that it's better not to mess with someone so skilled. During this fight, victory seemed certain for the competitor in the black tank top. He charged at his opponent multiple times with offensive attacks, and those watching were cheering him on. However, against all expectations, the other man revealed himself to be a true fighter and knocked out his opponent with agility and technique. Surprising everyone, the man who seemed like a natural winner fell to the mat after being knocked out. In this ring are two experienced fighters. The one without a shirt is an ex-kickboxing champion, so his opponent was prepared to give it his all in the fight. During the competition, it seemed victory was assured for the fighter with tape on his hands. But there's a twist when he gets knocked down. Even with people trying to separate them, the fight only ends when the ex-champion taps out several times. To enter a martial arts school and challenge the best requires immense self-confidence, and that's what we see in this video. The man in yellow shorts is a kung fu teacher, but ends up losing this fight because his opponent is more experienced and charges at him with breathtaking attacks. The teacher admits defeat in front of many spectators. The Taekwondo style helps develop both mental and physical skills in practitioners. So this fighter in black must be quite an Albert Einstein if his intelligence matches his physical preparation. In just seconds of fighting, he takes his opponent down with an impressive attack. Many masters have unique fighting styles and strike poses that reflect their skills. However, in this case, the fighter moved his hands strangely without reason and was easily defeated by his opponent. All the technique he pretended to have quickly goes down the drain. He simply gives up in the second round. In this footage, many people gathered to watch what seemed like a memorable match. One competitor wears typical boxing gloves while his opponent wears a very different outfit. He appears to be some sort of master with an ancient fighting style. However, as the match unfolds, it becomes clear that it's all just theater since the supposed master misses all his strikes and ends up getting knocked out. In another fight, this man dressed in black is very agile. Throughout the match, he moves quickly and even lands some hits on his opponent, but you can notice that the man in red acts more calculatedly. While the other is anxious, he remains calm. Finally, we understand that he didn't need to show off his skills because he knew how to fight well enough to take down his opponent effortlessly. In this video, a group of men gathers to test their martial arts skills as they watch two competitors showcase their talent on the mat. One competitor even wore head protection, but that didn't help him during the fight. Although he landed some hits, he performed poorly and became a laughingstock. In this martial arts school, two men decided to put everything they've learned to the test. Notice that the shirtless fighter tries several times to attack his opponent. He has plenty of energy but fails to bring his opponent down, missing multiple strikes and getting hit several times. In the end, both fighters conclude the match amicably, with the man in the yellow shirt clearly winning the competition. The camaraderie is absent in the next clip, where we see two competitors intensely focused on their fight, while other students sit around the mat watching. At first, the fight seems evenly matched, with both attacking and defending some blows. However, the shirtless fighter ends up worse off when he gets caught in a hold, unable to escape, and goes down. Ultimately, all that's left for him is to surrender. The previous fight was relatively calm, but in this case, things start off very energetically. Both fighters are determined to win, and the audience is lively, cheering for their favorites. The match begins, and there's no room for defense, only attack. For a while, both do very well. In the end, they end up grappling as they try to knock each other out, and the referee finally announces the winner, the man in the red shirt. Now we watch several students observing their master fight as an example of what they should do. At the start of the match, the man in the orange shirt seems like the less experienced of the two since his opponent is clearly a martial arts master. However, as the contest heats up, we see how appearances can be deceiving. The master is easily defeated by his opponent. In another video filmed inside a school, we see some people playing basketball in the background. But what really matters are these two men fighting to determine who is better on the mat. The fighter wearing boxing gloves attacks his opponent multiple times, but all that enthusiasm doesn't compensate for his lack of skill as he is easily knocked out. The fighters arrive excited for this class and do somersaults to warm up. However, even this pre-training isn't enough to hide that some have more skills than others. As a result, we see many students hitting the ground after just a short time of fighting. The next video was recorded during a competition. While other competitors wait for their turn to showcase what they've learned, two fighters step forward. At first, one displays several strikes and seems to dominate martial techniques. But soon after, he is taken down and has no choice but to tap out to escape from his relentless opponent. A student and his master decide to fight to see if all the teachings have been learned correctly. The match begins, and we can see the master giving tips on points on his body where his pupil could strike. However, he never imagined that the student would surpass him and take him down. Some fighters become very skilled in a particular fighting style, but when they face professionals from another discipline, they can struggle significantly. This is what happens in this video where a Taekwondo fighter faces a capoeirista. The two styles may be different, but both are aggressive and lethal when used in serious competition. For this reason, the capoeira fighter comes out on top in this bout, surprising those who underestimate this fighting style. During this training session, we understand what size doesn't matter means. Even though he is smaller than his master, after all, he's still a child, this fighter manages to showcase all his art and land several strikes on his opponent in a short time. We've already seen a capoeira versus Taekwondo match. Now let's check out a competition where the other fighting style is karate. During this competition, both fighters showcased everything they learned in their respective disciplines. However, in this case, the capoeira fighter, the woman in white pants, ends up on the losing side when she gets knocked out by her opponent. This footage was recorded during one of the final fights of a tournament that took place in 2012. Here, the fighting styles mix again, this time with Wing Chun against karate. Interestingly, while karate encompasses various techniques executed with the hands, Wing Chun is a Chinese technique that focuses on economy of movement during competition. It is primarily used for self-defense. During this tournament, the outcome is determined by judges watching the fights, and in this case, the fighter in white comes out on top. This video, filmed in a martial arts school, shows how a true master reveals himself at the right moment. The two men are on the mat showcasing their combat techniques. It seems like the black belt will win, but he ends up getting knocked out by his opponent in a green shirt, who doesn't wear any belt around his waist. In this dojo, the man wearing red boxing gloves will surprise you. At first, both fighters appear capable of winning any competition, but it soon becomes clear that one of them excels in the match. Not only does the winning fighter defeat this first challenger, but he also manages to take down a second opponent. In the next video, two young fighters step into the ring, and the one dressed in black seems very eager to show off his fighting skills. For a while, both manage to land some hits and evade attacks, but it quickly becomes obvious that one of them fights much better. In a sudden twist during this match, it's no longer even as the shirtless fighter charges at his opponent with all his fury. Unsurprisingly, he knocks out the one who appeared to be a master martial artist. In this footage, two men face off. The fight lasts several minutes, but we soon realize that the shirtless fighter is losing. After taking several punches and failing to land many himself since his opponent is very good at dodging, he simply gives up. However, as he exits through the ropes, the taunts come. In this next video, we confirm that even experienced masters have their off days. The man wearing pants is Xu Xiaodong, an extremely well-known and admired Chinese mixed martial artist. He has defeated great masters before but loses in just a few seconds in this fight. After his defeat, he claimed that the sun distracted him. In this next match, the man wearing blue gloves is quite an interesting character. He's an impersonator of Bruce Lee, one of the biggest names when it comes to actors who actually fought in their films. However, in this match, the impersonator doesn't have Lee's mastery and ends up getting beaten badly by his opponent while a crowd watches and records the entire scene. Coming straight from 2023, our next video features a kung fu master who challenged an excellent boxer. The age difference between them is striking, but the master continues to fight despite being hit multiple times. In the end, the boxer manages to defeat his challenger. A Wing Chun fighter challenged an MMA fighter, and we see the result in this footage. The fight between them unfolds for just over 19 seconds before it ends. This is because the man using Wing Chun skills delivers a very weak kick and ends up having his leg grabbed before going down. This was one of the quickest challenges won in history. Speaking of missed kicks, the next clip starts off that way. However, the fighter in red gloves quickly gets back up after missing his strike. But even his agility and perseverance aren't enough to save him from a knockout that leaves him unconscious on the floor. In the next video, we meet a female fighter who uses her screams and well-executed kicks to tire and destabilize her opponent. Notice how she attacks in a way that scares her opponent. He has to back off and defend so many times that the fight becomes extremely exhausting. This way, she manages to wear him out and win the match. This fight features two very interesting competitors. The man in the yellow shirt claims to be a Tai Chi Chuan master, while his opponent is an MMA fighter who has only been training for 4 months. As soon as the fight begins, the supposed master displays movements that look more like a dance than an actual attack. Surprisingly, he is quickly knocked out by his less experienced opponent. Earning a black belt in martial arts isn't an easy task, which is why everyone who achieves this honor is highly respected. But even the best can be defeated, and that's exactly what happens in this clip. A Chinese black belt master challenges a Muay Thai fighter. It seemed like a sure victory, but in just 7 seconds, he takes a kick to the neck and not only loses but also can't get back up. In another fighting school, everyone gathers for a new demonstration. Both competitors wear gloves and have quick movements in their attacks. However, the shirtless fighter takes such a powerful kick to his stomach that he doubles over, and even after the fight ends, we can see he is seriously hurt and struggling to move. In this video, we watch a fight between two young fighters, one practicing Wing Chun and the other Jeet Kune Do, two well-known Chinese fighting styles. Interestingly, one of them didn't take off his glasses before stepping into the ring. He continues to fight this way until he lands a strong hit on his opponent, surprising everyone who was watching as they didn't see him as a threat. On the mat are two young competitors, and the man in white gloves has a unique fighting style. He throws punches with both hands and often taunts his opponent. After all this, he manages to land some strikes, but ultimately loses when he's hit by several consecutive blows from his opponent. In this video, the man in blue gloves gets hit multiple times by his opponent. He falls after being attacked by a flying kick from the fighter in red gloves. Still, he stays in the competition because he wants to show what he's capable of. When it's time to retaliate, he throws several kicks, but nothing goes as expected since his attacker ends up falling and losing the match. The fighter you see in this video is a true specialist in kicks. Pay attention to how the man dressed in black approaches his opponent. He barely gives any space for defense, pushes his adversary into the corner of the ring, and unleashes so many strikes that the man in red gloves just falls to the ground, begging for the fight to end as quickly as possible. And it does happen. Thank you for watching this video until now. Don't forget to comment on your favorite moment. I'm sure you enjoyed the content, so please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and check out our playlist filled with amazing videos. See you next time.